Jesus could have come into this world in any way, but he chose to come in through a family. That makes it sacred. The family is sacred. It is central to God's plan to sanctify us, to sanctify the world, to grow in virtue. Our culture doesn't value the family. It doesn't value the traditional family, husband, wife, and children. But the family is central, is important, because God chose to come to us through a family and to give us the Holy Family as an example of how to live, how to grow in holiness, how to prepare for heaven. So the gospel reading, Joseph and Mary did everything according to the law of Moses. They fulfilled their duties as parents. They did everything. They brought Jesus to the temple, the presentation, everything. They did everything. They taught Jesus. They care for him because they know that Jesus is not really their son. This is God's son that has been entrusted to them to care, to love, to protect, to raise. So likewise with parents, your children are not your own. They are God's children entrusted to you to care, to raise, to protect. So all parents will have to answer, will have to give an account of how they treat their children. Remember, it's not your children, it's God's children, given to you to take care of, to raise, to teach. So that's very important, that you do everything that you need to do. Teach them the faith. Make sure they receive the sacraments. Make sure you pray at home. And the best way to teach is not by words, but by example. Everybody needs to go to church. Everybody needs to pray. Everybody needs to live a virtuous life. Because children will see and they will imitate. So if the father treats the wife badly, the son will do the same to his future wife. And the daughter too will expect that from her husband. But if the husband treats the woman with respect, with kindness, with gentleness, with love, then the son will treat his future wife that way. And the daughter will expect the same thing from her husband. So kids will learn from you. And it's also important that you spend time with them because children grow up so fast. It's important that you spend quality time with them. Work is not that important. Family is more important. So spend time with your family. That's what they will remember. And then also, children have responsibilities to your parents because God has placed our parents to be our parents. He has chosen our parents for us. Sometimes we wish we had different parents, but God knows better. And so if we love God and respect Him and honor Him, then we need to do the same with our parents. To honor, to obey, respect, to love our parents. Because God has chosen them, given them authority over us. So how we treat our parents is how we treat God. And then also, when they're old, adult children need to take care of their parents. This is their time to be responsible for your parents, to make sure they're well, to take care of them, to look after them. So you cannot neglect your older parents. That's what we hear in the first reading. And we have to put up with them if they're difficult. This is your chance to practice self-sacrifice, to practice love, to practice patience. And so St. Paul speaks in the second reading that how we need to cultivate and practice all these virtues. So the family is the school of love, the school of virtue, where we learn to be patient, where we learn to love, where we learn to forgive and get along with others. So that's why St. Paul goes through a list of virtues. Be compassionate, be kind, be humble, be gentle, be patient, put up with one another, forgive one another, love one another. So that's our way to practice, to grow in virtue, but also to grow as a human being. So learn how we can interact with the world when we go to work, when we go to school, when we go out, how we interact with others. It starts in the family. That's how we grow, and that's how we become more the human person that God made us to be. So we give thanks to God for giving us the Holy Family as the perfect example. And let us learn from them to love one another, to forgive one another, to help each other grow in holiness.